Hey y'all! So you have applied and got an interview with GoGoKid. Now it's time for that interview and demo lesson. So I'm going to give you a few tips and tricks to ace your interview. Remember, your interview decides what your pay will be. So it's really important to do your best job. I'm going to demonstrate a few of the slides for you, but remember, every teacher has their own style, so make it yours. It's really important to just have fun. These parents and this company is looking for teachers that can be energetic and happy. They can reward students, make corrections, but that is a fun time. The students are engaged and they're learning the English language in a fun way because they want to keep coming back for classes. So remember, with GoGoKid, you have to have a strong internet connection, headphones with a microphone, and then some props, which we will talk about. But also, there are some things for teaching ESL online that are really important to remember. Remember to speak slowly. So the students are just learning English, so they need to be able to clearly understand what you're saying, but don't drag. Also, TPR, total physical response, so they know to watch your mouth when you're talking. They know when to respond because you're cupping your ear, you're listening, you're acting out cat, you're running, whatever you're doing full body movements, you're getting them engaged. They can tell with their eyes what they're supposed to be saying, and so it just helps the lesson flow. It helps them understand and remember if you're using really great TPR. So TPR is a key point, so make sure you're using tons of TPR, make sure you're smiling, make sure you speak slowly, and then wait time. There is a lag in the internet service sometimes because they are in Beijing, China. So it may take them a few seconds to get what you have said across and then respond. So make sure you're giving them proper wait time and give them think time. So just like in the classroom, they need think time, they need wait time to respond. So make sure you're giving them wait time, speak slowly, TPR, and then encourage full sentences whenever you can. For example, hello, my name's Teacher Brittany. What's your name? Sarah. My name is Sarah. Good. Those kinds of things. You're just pulling out those complete sentences as often as you can. The parents are looking for their kid to be speaking in complete sentences. That's conversational English. That's where they're headed. That's what they want. So they want to hear their students speaking in complete sentences. So we're encouraging that as much as possible. And then we're making sure we're correcting mistakes, pronunciation, grammar, that those are corrected promptly and kindly. So those are things to look for. Your interviewer will pretend to be a 5-year-old Chinese student with limited English. So we're going to play right along with that, and we're going to correct their mistakes that they make. We're going to pull out those whole sentences from them, and we're going to have fun and engage them in the lesson. Even if they don't act engaged, it's okay. You want to have fun, whether they act like they are or not. And then let's talk a little bit about the GoGoKid platform. So you will have your PowerPoint in the middle. So that PowerPoint, if you have signed up for your interview, is at the bottom of that schedule that you're seeing. So there are teacher tips and tricks, and then an assessment form for you to look at so you know how you're being scored, and then the PowerPoints. There are 2 PowerPoints. I think they're attached on the back of each other. One is look, a hand, and the other is Alex and his friends. You get to choose which you want to teach. It really doesn't matter which one you teach. I chose look, a hand, and that's the one we're going to talk about today. But if you feel more comfortable with Alex and his friends, that's fine. Go right ahead and teach that one. Make sure you have both of them prepared in case they want to see more. But usually your demo class is only 10 minutes. It's a 25-minute segment, but you're going to spend time talking with your interviewer about your experience, your degrees, your certifications, and then they're going to answer any questions you have. So please, if you feel uncomfortable or unfamiliar with anything that they're talking about, ask plenty of questions. They will answer those questions for you. So ask all the questions that you can. And then they'll go over what your screen's going to look like. So you'll see your screen, you have the PowerPoint in the middle, and then you will see them, you will see yourself, and then you have all these little tools. So you'll have a pen where you can change the size and shape, you have a box where you can highlight things, you can type, there's a whiteboard, and then at the bottom there's stars. So you're going to use those stars for rewards. There are 5 stars in a class, but you also have to have your own reward. I often use Mr. Potato Head. The kids think he's funny, it's good for facial recognition, and the little girl I had this morning just cackled like every time I put something on him. She thought it was hysterical because he looked funny. That's what I use. You can use anything, but make sure you come with your own reward system. I like to give a star and then my reward. Star and my reward. Some teachers give all the stars first, then their reward. It really doesn't matter how you do it. I do suggest for your demo that you alternate, just so that your interviewer knows that you have an external reward system in place and you are ready to use that. Also, make sure you have some type of backdrop. It does not have to be colorful and kid-like. It's just an interview. It can be a plain wall. Just make sure it's clean and neat behind you. But this is just a trifold science board with some little cutouts. It can be super simple. You can use a picture in your background. You can use a poster, whatever you want to use. And just make sure it's clean and neat. So I think that's it. That's it. It's really simple. So let's talk about some of the slides and how you would teach those. I am going to pull those up in front of me and go over those. I'm not going to put them on the screen because of, out of respect for GoGoKid and the products they create. But if you have got an interview, then you have those slides, so you can follow along with me. And I'm just going to talk through them a little bit, some examples of how I would teach them, and maybe some opportunities for extensions. So if you've looked at that, look at hand. The whole lesson is about hand and arm. Not a lot there, but there are so many opportunities to extend that lesson and pull out more from those children and feed them more knowledge based on what you want to give them. So extending those lessons, they're going to look for that as well. So we have the very first slide. You have a little boy and a girl, and it says, look, a hand. This is your introduction slide where you're going to introduce yourself to your interviewer, who is now pretending to be a 5-year-old Chinese student with limited English. They'll do a countdown. They'll tell you to go, and you're going to pretend like you've just logged on and you are seeing your student. This is how I do an introduction. Introduction and reward all in the first slide. Hello, my name is Teacher Brittany. What is your name? Hi, Sarah. Nice to meet you. Sarah, how old are you? 5. You are 5. Wow. I am 5 years old. Wow. Good job, Sarah. Sarah, today, look, a hand. I'm going to underline look, a hand as I say it. Look, a hand. Good job. Sarah, today, when you do a good job, we will make a face. A face. Are you ready? Good. Let's go. So remember your pen and your pointer, you switch back and forth between those. You control your student's screen. So if you are wanting them to click something, make sure it's on the pointer. If you want them to circle, make sure it's on the pen. But get to know your students. So a few just quick questions. How old are you? Did you go to school today? What do you like to do? Just that quick conversation that you would have with any other child. So asking a few questions to build a rapport with them, get to know them, and see what their ability is. So slide 2, you have the little boy in a hand. Sarah, what do you see? And according to what they say, oh wow, a hand. Good job. I see a hand. Good. Sarah, click the hand. Click the hand. Good. Maybe they saw the little boy. You want to click the little boy. If you want to extend this slide, you can circle the tree and go, Sarah, what is this? Maybe you can circle a little boy and say, what color is his hat? Those kinds of things. That's a easy way to extend this slide, but they're going to see the little animation, the little boy. And then slide 3. You can click, or you can ask them to click. Either way, you can click the hand, listen to the word, and then you're going to repeat it several times. Any new vocabulary word, we're repeating at least 3 times. So click hand, Hand. 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 Good job, Sarah. Hand. Sarah, where is your hand? Good job. Then you can ask them to click. They can click the picture of the hand. They can circle if you want to change the pen. Any of those will work. Any way to engage them in the slide. Same thing with the next slide. Look an arm. Sarah, you can ask Sarah, what do you see? Maybe they know that it's an arm. Or you can have them click. You click the word. They can click the arm. If they find the arm in the circle, they can click it and see the animation. So same thing as the hand. You're introducing vocabulary words, so at least 3 times. Use different intonation in your voice. However you want to do it. Make it fun, because repeating words over and over isn't fun. But you can also throw in a full sentence there. So you've said arm 3 times. Then you're going to say, this is his arm. You can say, this is my arm, and have them repeat that and point to their arm. Remember TPR, you're showing them your arm. You have a prop. So Mr. Potato Head is great for this lesson because he has an arm and a hand. Any stuffed animal will work. Almost all stuffed animals have arms and hands. You can pull those in there. So if you have a puppet or just a toy, you can use those. Alright, the next slide is a match game. So you need to scaffold your lesson. So you're going to do it for them, do it with them, and then let them do it independently. So this is how I do it. Sarah, wow, look. I see a head. And I'm going to circle head. Head. Good. Head. So she's saying it, so we're all on the same page. And head is not a vocabulary word, so that's what I'm going to choose to do, because this is not a word we have covered yet. She should know hand and arm by now, but not head. So this is a good one for me to do for her, to show her how it works. Sarah, drag the head. Even though I give her direction, I'm going to do it myself, so hopefully she's mimicking. So I'm going to show her the mouse, drag the head, and dragging it for her so she sees it. Put the head in place, so now we've matched that. And then, Sarah, where is the arm? Give them time. Sarah, drag the arm. Let her drag it in place. Make sure she does it. And then for complete, and it's according to how your student's doing or how your interviewer's acting. Maybe you need to do the exact same thing with the hand, or maybe you can just circle it with the pen and say, what is this? Hopefully they're going to say hand, and you'll just tell them to drag the hand. Your language should be 60-40. So you should be speaking 40% or less of the time, and your student should be speaking 60% or more of the time. So you're encouraging them to communicate with you. A way to extend the slide is maybe ask what the little boy's doing, or do you like to skateboard, or is he happy? Those kinds of things would be easy way to extend the slide. And then the next slide is an I Spy game. So you're going to have the student click the egg. I always show them the mouse. That helps them understand what to do. So you're showing them the mouse, and then the little egg's just going to move around the screen, and you're going to ask, Sarah, where is the hand? And make sure you're flipping back to the pen so she can circle the hand. Arm, if you have extra time, then you can just ask, Sarah, what do you see? Maybe she sees an apple, and you can circle the apple. Yes, very good. I see an apple. Pulling out that full sentence. You can circle something. You can circle and say, what is this? That's a very easy slide to extend because the pictures are already there for you. And then it's just a built-in extension. So a very simple extension there. Alright, and then the next slide is where we are really getting into full sentences, wanting them to, on their own, come out with full sentences. So you're going to have the student click the egg. It's going to have a little animation. You're going to click the speech bubble. The computer is going to read it for you. Then you can repeat, this is his arm. Have the student repeat, this is his arm. Show the arm, this is his arm. This is my arm. Let the student show you their arm. That's an easy extension. The student saying, this is my arm. You can do that several times. And then remember, you have 10 minutes for your demo, and you have, if you take out the introduction slide, you have like 11 slides. So you're about a minute a slide, just moving through these. So make sure you're watching your time and pacing yourself. A really great way to practice: set a timer and do exactly what I'm doing. Talk through it yourself. Pretend you're waiting for an answer. You're correcting them. Just do that in your mind, and it'll be easy when you get to the interview process. So next slide, you have the monster with the little egg. It says, let's learn. Sarah, what do you see? What do they see? Easy extension. What color is the monster? He is red. May or may not know that he is red, but ask. If they say I don't know, say, oh, the monster is red, and then have them repeat that back to you. This is his hand, this is his hand. It'll say it, you will say it, they will say it. Then have them show them your hand. She will show you her hand. You can circle the hand, so you can ask to circle the monster's hand or circle the boy's hand. And then look and match. You're drawing a line on the, next slide, look and match. You're drawing a line. So look, this is his arm. Draw the line. Ask her to draw a line as well, so you will both have a line. And then this is her hand. Sarah, can you draw a line to her hand? And you're pointing out his and her. So his, circle the little boy, his arm, her hand, pointing that out, the difference between his and her. If you have time, you can count the butterflies, you can name the colors of the butterflies, those kinds of questions to extend that slide. And then the very last slide is, well, not the last slide, but the last teaching slide is a review slide. So you're just reviewing arm, hand, show hand, repeat the sentences. Maybe you underline it and they just read it. Sometimes that happens. This is his arm. They've seen it so much that they can do that. So underline it. This is his arm, and then maybe they can read this is her hand back to you. And then thank you, telling them thank you. That would be a new word on this slide. And then there's a song. So you click play. You're going to listen to the song on the second to the last slide. This is her arm. This is her hand. So you're going to listen to it, and then you're going to sing it with the students. So you're encouraging them to sing and get involved with you, and you're using your TPR the whole time. This is her arm. This is her hand. This is his arm. This is his hand. And then having the student encourage the students to do those movements. Can you sing with me? Good. And then really encouraging them to engage and interact with you. And then the last slide is a goodbye slide. You're going to tell them how much you enjoyed teaching with them. They did a great job. Maybe you can review some of the things they learned throughout the slide. So, again, you can say hand, arm, bye. Wave your hand and arm, bye. And then if you get there. So my interviewers stopped me before I got to that point, but if you get there, it's just a good way to say bye. They'll probably say that's fine. So how your rewards work. So as you're going through the slides, you do not have to reward after every slide. It is a demo. You have 11 slides, you have 5 stars, and then you want to throw your own in there as well. So I usually alternate. I start with a star, so I've introduced my reward, and then I usually, after the first slide, throw on the star, just so it's like, oh, usually my kids are like, wow! I mean, they get really excited about these stars. Their stars actually earn them points to do things in their system with. So it's really important to them that they get stars. Do not forget to give your students stars. So on the first one, they click the hand, the first slide, going back to that, and they click the hand. Oh, good job. You saw the hand, or you found the hand, or, oh, good, I see a hand. Whatever they did, praise them for whatever, come up with something. Even if they didn't talk at all, you're going to praise them. Oh, good. Yes, good listening. Anything. I mean, whatever they do, praise them. They will engage eventually. And so, another extension easily is your reward. So, this head, mouth, teaching those words, ears, whatever you want to do with your reward. Sometimes my little penguin, for older students, when we have 3 or 4 blocks, I'll have them guess. I'll go, what do you think this is? And have them guess. But whatever your reward is, just throw that in there. If you want a reward after every slide, go for it. You don't have to. You just have to give the 5 stars. And then throw some of your own reward in there as well. So that is it. It's a really easy lesson. Do not feel overwhelmed and do not feel stressed. You got this. You can do this. So go through your slide, practice. Look in the mirror, practice your TPR, practice your facial expressions, practice smiling and not being nervous and being enthusiastic, and practice your TPR. You can take your slides and write notes on them and lay them out, whatever you want to do, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I am going to drop my referral link below. That will, if you have not yet applied to GoGoKid and you are interested and you watch this video and you're like, I can easily do that, you know what, you can. So now's the time to try it out. So I'll drop my referral link below. What that does is link my account to yours. It's just like having a mentor teacher when you start teaching in a brick and mortar classroom. It will allow me to help you through the interview process in your first class, get you off to a good start with GoGoKid. So the referral link is going to be listed below. And if you have any questions, please ask, because this is such a fun job. I want to help you have fun and stay home if that's your goal. Bye.